Hey everyone, it's Abby and today I'm going to be showing you how I cut my own hair extensions to blend in with my real hair a lot more naturally. So first of all, you're going to want to start with your supplies. So you want your hair extensions. Preferably these should be washed and left to dry natural, just so they've got their natural little bit of a wave in them. You're going to want to make sure you've washed your hair and just let it dry. If it's naturally quite curly, just run the straighteners through it. But for me, I've just hair dried my hair and just left it as it is. And you're also going to want a good pair of scissors. So I have some tiny nail scissors, which are extremely sharp. So I use these for cutting my hair extensions. I don't think in this case your kitchen scissors are going to do, so just look for a pair of scissors that are really sharp, as you don't want this to snag the hair and cause any split ends. You're also going to want a brush and a comb, and you're also going to want somewhere that you can secure the hair extensions. So for me, I use my bedroom drawer to wedge the hair extensions in. However, you can get specialised hair extension clips which you can attach the hair extensions to and hang them on sort of like a wardrobe rail, but for me the drawer technique works fine. I also use this drawer technique when I am curling my hair extensions as well. It just makes it so much easier. So now you've got all your supplies ready, it's time to clip your hair into your head first of all. Whilst you're doing this, you're going to want to think what clips go where and which fit best for your head. I'm going to film a guide of where I personally place different wefts, but it is a lot of trial and error as a lot of people's hair is different thicknesses on different sides and in different areas. So you want to make sure you clip them in first before you start just hacking at them with the scissors, because most of the wefts aren't going to need to be touched at all. You're going to want to clip these in how you would naturally wear them, and then you can see what parts naturally look a little bit fake and have quite a big jump, probably looking around the front of your hair. There's going to be quite a big jump from the layers at the front of your hair to the extra long hair. So for this I'm going to have to move the camera, I think, so you can fit these hair extensions in, because these are the 24-inch barefoot blonde ones that I'm using today, which are extra long. I think that'll do. So I'm just going to clip these in really quickly just to get an idea of which ones need to be blended. So I'm starting with the 3 clip wefts at the bottom of my head. Again, like I said, I will do a video of how I clip these in and tips to make them clip in a little bit more securely. The clips on these are really strong. So I'm just throwing these in my head, but they are really secure actually. A lot of people do tend to back comb their hair before they clip in hair extensions, but as I wear mine quite frequently, the idea of back combing my hair every time I want to wear hair extensions just isn't for me. So it's not something that I personally do. I think if the clips are good enough, you shouldn't really have to. I mean, my hair is very, very fine and I've never had an issue with them sliding out. I'm just going to bring all that hair to the front. And even though the clips are really strong, when you're brushing your hair extensions, you still want to support them at the roots when you're brushing your hair, just to avoid any unnecessary pulling. So if you looked at these hair pieces now, you'd think, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm going to have to start cutting all these. When really this hair is probably going to sit mostly at the back of my head, and then the clips that go in the side, they're the ones that we're going to want to probably blend the most. So let's just pop these in. So here we have the hair extensions at the front. All the clips that I've clipped at the back I've left at the back because I'm probably not going to touch them. So it's just going to be these two that I'm probably going to blend. Now when it comes to blending, you've got a couple of options. If you're quite confident in differentiating between what's your real hair and the hair extensions, you can just grab some scissors and start feathering them whilst they're in your head, which is what I normally do. But once I've done that initial blending and I want to start getting feathers around here, I will then take them out and pop them and use the draw method, I'll call it. So as you can see, this is my real hair and it starts feathering out around about here, and these are the hair extensions. So you're going to want to hold them in between your fingers quite flat, but not acrossways like this. You're going to want to go from the back to the front. So if you were to brush your hair, obviously your brush would be like this, flat, and that's the way that you want to hold the hair. You don't want to be holding it sort of front ways like this and start chopping sideways, because you're not going to start feathering these bits. So you're going to want to keep your hair quite tense and just start with your pair of scissors and just gently squeeze the scissors like that. So the motion I'm using is just like that, and the key is to just take it slowly You don't want to take too much at once. So I just keep repeating this process over and over until I can see that it's starting to get a bit of feather. So as you can see, some of these bits are now shorter than the others. And the thing with the hair extensions is that they will blend a lot more once they are curled, because once they are curled, these shorter bits will start sitting a bit higher up, if that makes sense. Maybe I'll go pop a black t-shirt on. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. I'll pop a black t-shirt on and then you can see. Who decides to film a hair extension cutting video when it's like one of the hottest days of the year? So let's just get these front side pieces forward again, because we don't want to be blending too much of the hair at the back, because that's where we want to keep a lot of the length. So there, you can start seeing a little bit more now. So this bit is starting to feather here, and then this bit is just bolt straight there. This is a much better idea. I'll show you again on this side, because this one I'm going to have to do slightly different. So it's literally all I'm doing is just squeezing the scissors like that and just moving it down very, very lightly, because you don't want to start hacking at the hair. And that's why I find that a small pair of scissors works really well rather than a large sort of kitchen pair of scissors. Okay, so I think that side is done. If you just look at them compared. And we'll take them to the drawer in a minute and start feathering this section that's higher up. So now I'm going to show you a technique you can use if it is that you're quite nervous about cutting your own hair on accident, and also for doing these bits here where you don't want to catch your real hair at all. So what you're going to want to do first is take out the pieces that you're planning on cutting. So for me it's my two clip wefts and one of the single wefts. When you're cutting a couple of wefts together, if it was that you had two of the two clip wefts that both sat on top of each other, it can be quite useful to clip the hair together and blend them all as one piece. So if you've already cut them, it'll be quite easy to remember which one is left and right, but if not, I just tend to get a little marker pen and put a line on the left one. So whenever you're popping them in, you know that the one that's got the line on is the one that you pop on the left. But for me, I've already started cutting these, so I can see that this one is the right hand side one, and this one is for the left hand side. Apologies if this is a little bit wobbly. I'm obviously sitting on the bed as well as the camera. So you're going to want to take a set of drawers, open them slightly. You're going to want to place the weft inside and carefully close the drawer. So you're going to want to take the hair flat again, section about 1 inch on the side that you want to be blending. So for me, this one is going on the right hand side of my head, so I'm going to go on the rightmost side and start feathering there. And again, you just want to take the scissors and just keep pulsing the scissors and taking very small amounts of hair off at first. And it's surprising just cutting a very small amount of hair off can have such a huge difference. You don't have to cut that much really. And the part that's on the leftmost side, so that's the part that will be at the back here, I always want to leave that as long as I can. So whenever I get to the end and I'm going with my scissors, I always tend to fade out and always leave this last bit just as long as the other set is, just so it blends at the back of your head. So just looking at that one now, that looks good. Now I think I've mentioned this, but these aren't normal nail scissors. They are scissors I brought from a beauty supply store, and they're for cutting like nail foils and things like that, so they are very, very sharp. So don't just use your normal bathroom scissors, because they might snag the hair quite a bit. So even though that my hair went up to about here on the hair extensions, I'm going to want to start blending here, just so I do have some smaller bits for when it's curled to blend in a bit more. And then I'm just grabbing them as a whole and just doing one last feather all the way along. So as you can see, I haven't taken that much hair off really. It's only very minimal. So we've got some shorter bits on this side medium bits, and then we've left the longest parts there just so it then scoops in. Can you see there? So the longer bits you keep at the side, so that blends in with the back of your head, which is all going to be the same full length of the original hair extensions. And then this side here has been feathered to blend in with the front of your real hair. Okay, so now we are back here. So let's just clip these in now and just have a check to see if we need to take any more off. So I normally, when I'm wearing my hair extensions, I keep most of them behind the back of my head, and then from around my ear forward, I will always pull these bits forward. Okay, so let's just go back a bit. So as you can see, that's my real hair. That is the hair extension. So this bit has just got a little bit of a jump. So let's just take a little bit more off that. There we go. And this side, let's have a check. Maybe a little bit there. Okay, so I'm really happy with how those have turned out now. They're a lot more blended around the front. Hair extensions are a lot more difficult to blend when they are straight anyway, so once these have been curled, they're going to blend in really well. So I hope this video has helped you and give you a little bit of confidence in cutting your own hair extensions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.